So, hello. This is the second installment of How My Uncle Got Me Hammered. The last installment kind of explained how I got interested in the hammered dulcimer. In this installment, I wanted to talk about kind of how I selected the hammered dulcimer I was going to find and that I was going to use and buy, and kind of go through the day of how that went when I took the down payment and met the maker. So. I got online and I'm a member of a couple hammered dulcimer Facebook pages. And I got on there, did some research, and then realized pretty quickly that a good hammered dulcimer, you got to find a maker. It's not like these things are mass produced all over the place. So you have to find someone to make it. And I would rather keep things local. So I got on there and started asking around, hey, I live in, around Dayton, Ohio. Does anybody know anybody in Ohio? And a man responded on there. He said, hey, my wife and I use Cloud9 instruments, and we think they're great. Mike Allen's a good guy. So I researched it, gave a call to Mike Allen, who's a really personable guy. I went out and told him that, if I'm going to put a down payment on this thing, it's not my money. So I sure would like to meet you and that kind of thing. And he's concerned about COVID right now and all that. So he said, I'll tell you what, why don't you come up and we'll meet outside and get a down payment and I'll show you what the instruments look like. And I thought that seemed like a pretty good idea. So I reached out to my brother Paul and asked him if he'd join me. It was on a Friday. Beautiful, beautiful day. It was a gorgeous day. And so Paul and I made a day of it. We started out going to the Coffee Cup there in Miamisburg, and then we drove. This is in, I forget the name of it, not Erlanger, Orlinger or something like that. It's up north of Columbus, on the other side of Marysville. And Paul and I made a whole day of it. We decided we'd stop on the way and play some disc golf in Marysville at an old disc golf course that he and I used to play. We forgot how hard it was. A very challenging course. And then we had a beautiful day. It was blue skies everywhere. All the leaves were turning, and it was just a breathtaking day. And out where this guy lived is kind of out in the boonies, and it was just a beautiful drive. Paul knew the area really well. And there's a covered bridge, everything. Everything was picturesque. And then we pulled up to the gentleman, to Mike Allen's house, and he was out front, had everything out underneath a beautiful forested area. Again, the leaves were changing colors. It was almost surreal, very picturesque. And like I said, Mike's a very personable guy. He showed us all kinds of instruments. I forget the name of the one, but it starts with like marimba. It's an African bass instrument. It's like essentially you can play bass lines with a percussive instrument. It was really neat. And as it turns out, Paul and I find out that Mike doesn't play the hammered dulcimer. He just makes them. He's a violinist, a very accomplished violinist, and also makes a very unique instrument. It was a Finnish instrument, actually. And it was really, really neat. I'll have to put a link into the page to his website on Cloud9 Instruments, or Cloud9 Musical, and we'll put a link on this video to that. And you can kind of see all the things that he does. The guy is really talented. I was really, really impressed with the workmanship of the instruments, and it made me feel very comfortable about putting a down payment on that instrument. And then he stayed and talked with us. We probably sat there for an hour and a half, and we talked about everything. And he, of course, said, hey, when you come to pick up the instrument, why don't you bring something, bring your cajon or something. We'll sit down and play. So we may do that when we go back. The instrument's slated to be finished early December. So my intent will be to drive back and pick that up in person, which Mike sure did like that. He said he doesn't like to ship his instruments. It makes him pretty nervous. So it would make me nervous too. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up early December when it's done. We picked all of our wood. I'm really excited for how it's going to look, and I've continued watching my videos on tutorials on how to play the instrument. I'm just really excited, to kind of start into this next adventure and learning to play that hammered dulcimer, especially when I'm getting it in early December. It might be fun to work up a couple Christmas carols or something. I think it'll be a good time. And Emmy's very excited. She wants to play a duet with me. She'll play the piano and I'll play the hammered dulcimer. So it should be really fun. Again, I've always been a percussion guy. I played euphonium in high school, and I can dabble on the trumpet with Emmy. Fingerings are the same as the euphonium. But this is something that's going to be very unique. Not a lot of people, play the instrument. Finn has shown interest. He says, "I want to play the hammered dulcimer too. I want to try." So it should be a really fun thing to have in the family. I can see a spot already picked out in our front room, which is where we keep all of our instruments. We're starting to get a pretty good collection in there now. We've got a piano, a cajon, a trumpet. We have a couple recorders, I think. Anyhow, this will be another wonderful instrument to have in that room, and that room has become a very musical room for us. Emmy practices daily. Mia sings in there, especially when she has her at-home classes. And then Finn's been playing the piano as well now, so that's been really fun. He also goes in there and sings. He doesn't know that we're listening, but we are. Anyhow, I just want to give you another update on how my uncle got me hammered.